This is the last of my films I took in September 2008 when I went cycling up in southern Scotland and northern England. So after Kilda and Glentress, I headed back down to North Yorkshire, and this is my film of the ride, Ravenscar to Whitby and back. The opening panoramic shot shows you pretty well the whole of the first half of the ride as you swing around about a quarter of a mile from the sea, around the bay, around the top of the town there at St Robin Hood's Bay, and then heading up along the top of the coastal cliffs there. So it's all downhill to begin with, following the old railway line. The beautiful countryside. This is technically the North York Moors National Park still, I believe. The surface of the trail is pretty good most of the way, sometimes a bit muddy, but nothing too serious. It had rained the day before when I came back down from Scotland, and it was terrible, so you can see some of the results of that. Haven't really shot any film of Robin Hood's Bay actually. This is beyond Robin Hood's Bay, the actual town, looking back from where I started at Ravenscar now, and I think this is the best section of the ride. I think it's nicely uphill, beautiful scenery, seascapes, and the weather was actually perfect at this point of the ride. You can see here from the blue skies. And then it flattens out at the top here and you get a flat section along, which is just lovely to ride. Really beautiful, nice wind. And then it starts to head back down. And eventually you get your first glimpse of Whitby, which I've just filmed here. You just about see it. It then crosses the main Scarborough-Whitby road, and then it goes through really a cutting, so it's not so scenically interesting, that section. And then it comes to the engineering highlight of the ride, the Larpool viaduct. This is just for cyclists and walkers now, so it's a thrilling ride across the viaduct. I've taken a bit of an action shot here and used the old trick of cycling with one hand and filming, so I was quite excited doing all this. I've taken some shots just standing looking from below. I didn't take any shots looking up, I didn't get down below, but I've looked at photos of it, and it's a stunning bridge still. And the railway line, you can just see the railway line goes along the river, and that's the main line going into Whitby from Middlesbrough. So the railway line, it goes into Whitby and then it swings around. I was looking on the Ordnance Survey map, and it comes back and follows the old cycleway here and then crosses itself on the bridge here. So it must have been a thrilling railway journey in its time. And then looking to the moors. So the ride follows the old railway line round and through a cutting, so it's not so exciting, so I haven't really filmed any more until we get to Whitby here. I bought myself some lunch and I came up to this viewpoint and I was able to film all this of Whitby from above. This is not actually my first time in Whitby. I was here last year as a day tripper and a non-cyclist. So I took some, I didn't have the camera then, but I did have a stills camera. And I took some pretty good shots last year, so I might do a separate film of all this for Whitby and put all that stuff together. Going back to the ride, it took me about just over 2 hours to do it was about 8 miles from Ravenscar to Whitby. And it's basically, it's long downhills and long uphills, so it's not too bad. I could have done it quicker if I didn't stop for filming and to look at the scenery. So the return journey was exactly the way I came, and I had 2 uphill sections rather than 1, so it was a bit more tricky coming back than it was coming towards Whitby. What you could do is just do the Whitby to Robin Hood's Bay section and back, and that would be about an hour each way, so you could break what I've done here into half and make it more manageable. Or if you're ultra fit, you could do the full ride to Scarborough and back. And I think that's about 18 miles each way, but the railway goes all the way to Scarborough, and you can do it if you want. But this, I read that this section I've done is scenically the best section, so that's why I kind of like didn't bother with starting from Scarborough this time. And also I was tired after nearly a week of cycling. So that was it. The next day I did the Dalby Forest ride, and then I drove home late afternoon back down to Surrey in the south of England. You've seen my movies on Glentress and the Cross Border Trail and the Kilda rides. You see that I did a real mixture of mountain bike riding that week, not just single track. I also did some forest roads, and I also did this trail here as well. So I did try and mix it up and add some variety to it. But I can't wait to get back to the Seven Stains for next year.